What's going on, guys? This is Real Estate Q&A Sessions, week 26. And we are here live. And I would just want to go ahead and start this off by saying RIP Martez Hurt. We lost a great one in the FAMU community over the past couple of days. Big hit to the FAMU. Everybody knows Martez was a great guy, solid guy. Everybody knew him. And, we had some unfortunate news this weekend. And I just want to go ahead and start the show off with that. RIP my boy Martez. It's always tough losing folks, especially at a young age. And to hear news like that, the way it happened, how it happened, doesn't even matter. It's just saddening. So I just wanted to go ahead and start the show off by saying RIP Martez Hurt. Everybody, like I said, it's just tough. But anyway, I am officially back in town. So I've been gone for, how long I was gone? I was gone for like literally 6 days. I just got back in Florida. Obviously, I'm in a hoodie. I am tired. Literally did a road trip for the ages with family for the past 6 days? No, 5 days. I just got back into Baltimore last night. This morning at about like 2 o'clock this morning, and I've been literally on the road since last Friday. So I'm a little tired, but business pursues, and I got to keep things going. So give some folks more time to pop up in here. Appreciate y'all showing up. This is week 26 Real Estate Q&A Sessions every Thursday at 12 o'clock. I almost said 1 o'clock, but really 12 o'clock. Excuse me if I don't have the excitement that I usually have, but regardless, we're still here. You guys are still showing up, so appreciate you guys. Hurdy, what's going on? Keneal, how you living, brother? AJ No Free, what's going on, man? A good thing that you guys are starting to do now is hit me up in the DMs with questions, which is good because the show does not just you can ask me questions anytime through my DM, and if I feel like it's a good enough question to drop when we do our sessions, then I will bring the questions here. I know a couple of you guys had some questions over the week that had DM'd me that I felt like would be great questions to bring up here and share with everybody else. So some of those questions I will be bringing up. I know AJ had a question. There's another cat in my DMs as well that had some questions. So I want to make sure that I post those up as well and make sure I answer those. So I appreciate you guys doing so. Remember, you can ask me questions anytime throughout the show, but also in my DMs throughout the week. It's perfectly fine with me. More so, you're free to do that. And like I said, if I feel like if it's good to bring to the show, I will bring it to the show. I guess this is a show now, if you want to call it a show. But anyway, yes, I am back, officially back. I was in Florida taking care of some business. Actually, no, I was in North Carolina doing our annual breast cancer walk with my mother's foundation. And then I went to the other side of North Carolina to pay respects to my grandmother. And then I drove down to Florida to celebrate my mother's birthday and pay my respects to my mother, which is automatic. I dropped 100 roses on her. You know what I'm saying? Had to do it right. We got her all dressed up. Oh, my gosh. It's a beautiful thing. So this past week has been nothing but family. If you guys have been calling me, text me, I really haven't been answering any of that stuff because it was literally a weekend where I was strictly focused on family. So I'm back. Obviously, there's a lot of things I got to take care of, and I'll be back on the road tomorrow to Cincinnati. But that's not going to stop what we're doing. Remember, guys, if you were here at the very beginning of the show or paying my respects to Martez, man, y'all take time to spend with y'all family, man. I spent 6 days, 6 days with my fam, and I kept my phone light. I kept the calls light. I kept the answering of the text messages light. If it ain't have nothing to do with the fam, I wasn't picking up. I wasn't really answering. Make sure y'all spend time with y'all families because a lot of that time you don't really get back, and you just never know this. These days I got a guy I went to school with, his sister passed away, and we just got the news about Martez the other day. So, People die every day. You never know when it's going to be one of your family members. You know what I'm saying? And as cliche as it sounds, spend time with your family. If you hustling and bustling and you all about the money, that's all fine and dandy. But make sure you spend time at home with your peoples. Your loved ones. That's what really matters. This money, you can't leave with it. You know what I'm saying? Faith already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Faith's another hustler out here. But it's that respect, right? And I'm glad you didn't, Faith, because my phone was still blowing off the hook all day. It just happens. I don't know what it is. It seems like when you tell people you're going on vacation, that makes them want to hit you up. And it's like, can y'all not solve these problems by yourselves? You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. There's some parts of the business that you have to take care of, whether you in town or you not in town. I got a closing tomorrow that definitely I could not have ignored those calls. So I got a closing tomorrow, and I got a couple more deals that I'm working right now. So it's been fairly busy, fairly busy, but nonetheless, we're all good to go. That's enough for update you guys. But anyway, back to it. So real estate Q&A sessions every Thursday, 12 o'clock. Feel free to start asking questions if you need to. We had a couple questions that popped up in my DMs that I'm going to bring up. I know AJ, actually, they were kind of like the same questions. And I think they were piggybacking off of my last week's session, which was about what was I talking about last week? I was talking about inspections and kind of like the process that I go through when I walk through a house and do an inspection. I had two questions about tenant screening. Oh, that's what it was. I showed you guys my 3-unit and how we were almost done, and I had tenants lined up, or prospective tenants lined up, and somebody asked me about tenant screening. How do I screen tenants? Where do I get my leases from? Faith, I'm pretty sure you get that question a million times. Leases, tenant screening, basically that question. And I'll start that off by just going ahead and saying that there's no perfect tenant, right? It doesn't matter how well you screen. There is no perfect tenant. And just because somebody has all the credentials, the money, the credit, does not mean they're going to be a great tenant for you. And just because somebody doesn't have all the credentials that you're looking for, doesn't have the greatest credit score, doesn't mean they're going to be a bad tenant. You're putting in place preventative measures, and you're doing the best you can to mitigate any potential problems. But you're never going to be too sure, because, I could be the greatest tenant in the world, and then 6 months into my lease, something happens, and I just maybe I lost my job, or maybe I lost a loved one, and maybe I'm not as responsive. Maybe maybe I blew my bread, and whatever, right? Stuff happens. Like, you can't put it. If you guys are planning to get into the rental game, I'll be the first to tell you that you're in for a surprise. Surprises, because nothing is off the table when it comes to rentals and acquiring tenants. And I'm just keeping it real with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go out there and believe anybody that says that, I got all these rentals, and I got all great tenants, and I don't really have no problems. They're lying. Right? The more you've been in the game, the longer you've been in the game, the more you're going to be exposed to potential problems, especially potential problems that people bring to the table. So, when it comes to screening, you are to do the best you can in extracting as much information as possible, but you're never going to be quite sure, right? So, here was my approach. Before. I used to, my first house, my first duplex, I managed that myself. I put together the leases. I advertised the units. I did appointments with tenants. I screened them and I picked them. If you ask me to do it, would I do it all over again? Hell no, I would not do that all over again. But it was a great experience because I saw what it takes to actually find tenants and put tenants in a place, right? Do I like it? Not a chance, right? For my own reasons. There's, you could have your own reasons of why you like finding tenants and all that kind of stuff. We got a request, a group for artistry. I'm gonna go ahead and click. I think this is Cole. Oh, was that a mistake? I think that was a mistake. If it wasn't a mistake, Cole, go ahead and drop that again for me. But anyway, what I did was, what makes it easier now for you guys, and it also depends on where you're getting your leads from, like your tenants from. If you're getting your tenants from Craigslist, I'm not going to say that you're going to find great tenants on Craigslist, but I am going to say you might find more problem tenants on Craigslist. Zillow, Trulia, and all. They have bundles of places. They have places where you can literally post on one site and it'll post on a bunch of other sites. People are always looking for homes, but you got to be wary. Sometimes, like I said, Craigslist tenants tend to, y'all know how Craigslist is. It's like the Wild West sometimes. So, but yeah, obviously you want to make sure the person's employed. That's the main thing. Can you pay your rent? It's just that simple, right? Can you pay your rent? Can you afford to pay your rent? Do you have the money for the deposit? Can you verify income? Can you verify income today, and then can I also verify income like 24 hours before you move into the place? I've had that happen before, and I had to. I learned this tip from Faith, actually, who's in. I don't know if she's still watching, but I had a tenant that was all good to go, and got approved XYZ, and when it came down to a couple weeks later to move in, we found out the day before. No, we found out the day after she moved in that she had lost her job, and had my management company at the time, which is not my management company now, but had my management company at the time, basically verified employment 24 hours in advance. 24 hours before moving in, we wouldn't run into that problem. And that tenant ended up being out of the house within like 2 months. So that was a catastrophe, but one that could be resolved with some experience. And obviously, I now have that experience. So yeah, verifying income and verifying employment is going to be your biggest thing. I would automatically throw up red flags if somebody can't verify income or doesn't have a job. Not saying that, there's people out there who have their own businesses and all that kind of stuff, but I need to see some tax returns. I need to see something, right? I need to see something that you're bringing in the money that is owed. And now I'm not even just saying just the rent money, because if you're only bringing in $1,000 a month, let's say rent's $1,000 and you're only bringing in $1,500 a month. I'm going to tell you, it's probably not the best move to move into this place, because we all know that life throws a bunch of lemons and wrenches and stuff like that. And if you're barely able to pay rent, you probably don't want to be moving in. You probably want to find something that's a little cheaper so you can have some buffer room, some cushion to pay for other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but here's another thing, guys. You got to be careful as well with how you communicate these issues with tenants, because there is such thing as fair housing laws and equal opportunity and all that kind of stuff, right? When it comes to tenants and prospective tenants. So when you're screening your tenants, and let's say, credit score, you want to look at credit score. So verified income, let's not jump around, but you want to verify the income, right? Verify employment. You want to credit scores. You want to check your credit scores. You also want to check in with the last places, the last couple of places they've lived. Do they have any evictions? Did they pay on time? All that kind of stuff. You want to verify who's going to be living in the place. Because people sign one person up and then 10 people in your house. You want to do as much of and also if you pay for a background check. Pay for a background check. Just get it done. There's a lot of places online that streamline a lot of this stuff. Doesn't mean you trust them, because some places do like a surface level background check and other places do deeper level background checks. And that's for you to find, because I don't really place tenants anymore, so I wouldn't know. But those places are available and that streamline all this kind of stuff. And actually, there are portals online that you can just pay for monthly, landlord tenant portals, where you create this. You go into the portal, you input your house, and it can advertise for you for a specific price. You can screen tenants through the portal. It does. They do background checks through the portal. And then when tenants move in, they can pay via the portal. They can submit maintenance requests via the portal. All great resources for you when you're looking for tenants, because if you're doing all this stuff manually, it's going to take time, right? You're going to have to screen them. You're going to have to pay for a background check. You're going to have to get that back. You're going to have to get a credit. You're going to have to get the credit report. Verify the credit report. Make sure everything's hunky-dory, A-OK. You know what I'm saying? You're also going to be running around doing appointments with tenants. If you got a hot property at a decent price, guess what? People are going to want to see it. You're going to have to consistently go back and forth and show the property, right? You're going to have to deal with all the paperwork. You're going to have to try to collect deposits. So for me, purposely, I don't do this. I don't do this side of the business. I just don't, right? It's a whole nother side. It's called property management. I am managing 3 of my properties right now, and it's not by choice. Well, it was circumstantial. I fired one of my property managers, so I had to take over for these 3. But I am planning on hiring a new one, because I just don't like this side of the business. Not that I don't like it, but it just takes up a lot of time. Right? If you're going to be managing your own property, you've never done it before, do it. I'm an advocate for it, and I say do it because there's a valuable experience in learning what it's like to manage a property and tenants. And so how can you expect to hire anybody to manage your properties if you don't know what goes into managing your own property, right? You are going to take care of your house better than anybody else will. Right. And so even if even if you try it out for 6 months or halfway through the first lease, or, you do the first year, that's fine. You want to get that experience. There's nothing wrong with it. If your schedule doesn't permit it, then don't try it. Right. But if your schedule permits it and you want to learn some new stuff and you want to learn it, from experience, because, I tell y'all, I learned a lot of my information and knowledge based off experience. Fucking up, doing bad stuff. Right. So, and I'm no guru. I keep telling y'all that. I'm no guru. I just know a little bit more than the average Joe. But that's to say that experience will teach you a lot, and it will enable you to ask the right questions when hiring a property manager. Because me and Faith both know, I don't know if Faith is still watching this, but all property managers are not treated equal. I'm not treated equal. They're not all the same. They're not created equal, right? Just because I manage property and I know you doesn't mean that I'm going to be the best property manager for you, right? You have to legit vet these property managers as if you're vetting a preschool for your child. Say that again. You have to vet these property managers as if you're vetting a preschool for your child. Your house is your investment. It's your baby. It's an investment child, whatever you want to call it, right? I don't care what you call it. But if I spend over $100,000 on something and I'm leaving it in the hands of somebody who, and I'm supposed to leave it in the hands of somebody, that somebody better know what the hell they're doing. And they better know what the hell they're doing, right? It better be a legit business. I have worked with the biggest property manager in the cities, and I've also worked with a mom and pops, and both have their pros and both have their cons. And you have to make sure that whoever's going to be managing your property, one, if they're a larger property management company and they have, hundreds of rentals and stuff like that, and here you go with your portfolio of 2 or 1, you have to make sure that they even got time to be dealing with you, right? They'll, depending on who they are, they might say, hey, you need a minimum of this many properties for us to pick up. Fine, cool. I'd rather you let me know up front. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, you'll have the property managers is like, hey, we'll take you, whatever, right? Even though we got hundreds of others. So the point I'm trying to make is that if you have a bigger property management company that's managing larger portfolios, like cats that have, 50 houses, 30 houses, 70 houses, over 100 houses, and they got, all these big time portfolios that they're managing, and here you are with your one house. Are they going to have time to even deal with my house? Is my house going to be shuffled under, from a priority perspective? Is it going to be shuffled up under the papers with everybody, under the stack of papers on the side of your desk? Or is it going to get the A1 treatment that it deserves as if I am your largest client with the largest portfolio? That's stuff you got to ask. That's stuff you got to be mindful of, right? Because I can go hire the biggest property management company with the biggest name and marketing and all that kind of stuff, but if they ain't got time to tend to my property, then what's the point of paying them? You know what I'm saying? What's the point of paying them? If you ain't got time to go and make sure that my rent is collected and I'm getting paid on time and that these maintenance issues aren't being piled up and they're being taken care of in a timely manner, then why am I paying you? Right? That's these property. Look, you got to vet these people, right? And then with the smaller property management companies, are you even capable of managing, right? Do you send out monthly statements without me asking? Do you send the money on time? How are you collecting the money? Are you still asking for only mail? This is 2020. Tenants are able to pay all different types of ways, right? Checks, cash, credit cards, online payments, Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, Apple Pay. You know what I'm saying? Are you flexible? Are you with the times? Because I tell you right now, you got a property manager that says, yeah, we collect checks via mail only or the drop-off box. They could be the best. I don't know. I'm just giving y'all some experience because this is obviously experience touchy point. But that mail crap sometimes is crap, right? Because, tenants can say, well, hey, I mailed the mail before the rent was due. I don't know why you didn't get it. Okay, a couple of days later, where's the mail? I don't have it. I sent it on this day. Oh, where's your tracking number? Oh man, I threw the receipt away. I forgot to give you the receipt. Oh yeah, but I did send it on that day. You just gotta wait. Okay, a couple of days. Where's the mail? Oh, I don't know, man. I sent it on that day. Maybe, Trump got the post office people jacked up. Who knows? Only to find out that they never sent the mail. So, the mail thing it can be problematic. It also gives excuses. It enables excuses. So you want to have a property manager that's able to take payment in multiple different ways, because at the end of the day, it's 2020. If I need to pay my rent, it's either I got it or I don't. And if the only way I can pay it, or if I got a couple different options on how I can pay it without having to go to the bank, grab a money order, then go to the post office and then pay for expedited mail or try to get certified mail. That's a lot of steps, and you're already dealing with people that sometimes aren't responsible. And so what makes you think that, what are you going to trust them if that's their only way of paying mail and they got to go through all those steps to pay you and they're already not responsible? You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to keep it funky. I'm probably coming from a place of it's probably just because it's what's the flavor of the month right now. I've been chasing down a tenant for payment for the past 28 days. Now I just got the check and it just picked it up this morning, and it wasn't even half of the rent. So I went through all, and I literally, I keep it funky with y'all, whatever, right? So, and I mean, listen, I am okay with, I understand what's going on. Trust me, I do. I got multiple tenants, multiple houses. I understand what's going on. It's COVID and all that kind of stuff. And since the very beginning, I've taken a humanistic approach. I haven't even filed eviction notices yet. But I've taken a humanistic approach to this whole coronavirus thing. So I don't want nobody saying nothing about bad landlord, whatever, right? Right. So it's November. Basically, it's November. there's been funds and things provided to these tenants and opportunities enabling them to have rental assistance and all that kind of stuff. But there's people doing the right thing, and then there's people taking advantage, right? And you couldn't really see that at the beginning because of the beginning of COVID, because of everything that was going on. It was kind of just a cluster F of going on at the very beginning of COVID. But right about now, it's November. We're 7 months into this pandemic. You know who's playing the system and who doesn't, right? Especially with tenants that you've had for this duration of time. And, this set of tenants has been consistently problematic throughout the whole time. Haven't been trying to get a job. They've been, I'm not going to go into the weeds of it. But basically, Buddy was like, at the very beginning of the month, after the 5th, rent's due from the 1st through the 5th, right? It's late after the 5th. After the 5th, I'm calling. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, we sent it. I already sent that thing off. A couple days later. Oh, where's the mail? I'm going to the post office. I'm going to send it today. Okay. All right, cool. Whatever. Because we can't charge for late fees. And it's kind of tough to evict, whatever. Couple days later. Oh yeah. I'm at the post office right now. I just so happen to be at the post office right now with your check. I'm going to send it off. Couple days later. Where's the mail? Oh, I was at the post office. Check this out, right? I was at the post office mailing your check. Remember we was on the phone? But then I passed out from COVID. Okay, you passed out from COVID. So where's the check? Where's the money at? Oh, well, I'm at home. The doctor said stay at home so I don't infect nobody. Cool. That's fine. We can send a runner to the house to pick up just put the check in the mail. Put it in your mailbox. I'll send a runner over and pick it up. Oh, well, the money was in my center console in my car. And when I passed out from COVID at the post office, when I was trying to pay you at the front counter, I left the money in the center console. And when I passed out, they took me to the hospital and my car is still at the post office. Okay, so how was you gonna pay? How was you at the front desk trying to pay me or send a check off, but then the money is in the car? Whatever. Okay. So I'm like, all right. Well, what are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go get the money. I'm gonna get my god brother to go get the money out of the car. Whatever. Whoop de whoop. Cool. A couple days later, yo, where's the money? You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I gotta get my car out of the impound because when it was at the post office after I passed out from COVID, they impounded my car and the inside the center console is where my money is. And then my doctor said I can't touch nobody and I'm trying to be cautious and I've been in the house dealing with the COVID stuff. I just got the check today, guys. And it wasn't even the whole check. It was less than half of the rent money. So that is a little story about mail-in checks. I know I kind of went off on a tangent, but anyway, screening your tenants, you'll never be 100% sure. You could have the greatest resume and still be a shit tenant. Happens. So yeah, glad you guys are I know I kind of went off a little bit on that one, but if you guys got any questions, this is real estate Q&A sessions every Thursday 12 o'clock, keeping it funky with y'all and let you guys know how we get down in this real estate game. And if you guys got any questions, feel free to ask because that's what we do. I answer everything real estate related every Thursday 12 o'clock. Housekeeping, you guys already know to support me just like I support you guys every week. Screenshot this, post it on your story and let folks know what we're doing. You know what? I'm probably going to send Sneaker Fiend something because she shows love every single week. This is about spreading love, sharing the show. As soon as you pop up in here, you should be screenshotting this picture and posting it on your story. I'm not telling you to post it on your feed. I'm not trying to take up your feed time. I post it on your story. Show some love, y'all. That's all I ask. Show some love, get some people up in here. That's all we want. You know what I'm saying? That's all we want. We want more people in here asking more questions. Trucking with Rod. I ain't never. Oh, that's my boy Rod. What's going on, baby? Hey, first of all, I am super proud of that guy right there. I'm super proud of you, bro. I just want to let you know that, man. I am super proud of you. Keep doing your thing out there on the West Coast. Actually, I don't even know where you at right now because you got your truck and you might be I don't know, you might be in Canada somewhere. But I'm super proud of you, man. Shout out to you for doing your thing. My boy out there driving his own truck, trying to start a trucking business, man. So I definitely see the hustle. We always gonna support hustlers out here. But other than that, yeah, appreciate y'all for showing up. We got Faith in the building. We had Caleb Ross in the building, a group for artistry, Sneaker Fiend. Who else? Keneal, Cole Beasley, Stella, Brent, my boy Brent. What's going on? Appreciate y'all for showing up, showing love. Again, remember, housekeeping wise, this is the only thing I ask of you guys. If I'm gonna be dropping and talking my head off about real estate for an hour, the only thing I ask you guys is just screenshot this, post it on your story, shout me out, and let folks know what we're doing each and every Thursday, 12 o'clock. Let's not get it twisted. So feel free to ask questions. There is a question bar right there below with a little question mark. Feel free to drop your questions in there, and I will answer them as best I can. In the meantime, while I wait for more questions, I have an idea. About spreading this knowledge. So, guys, stay tuned. I'm going to probably be putting out some stuff here shortly over the next couple months. I know last episode, we had some folks asking about coaching. I told you guys I will not be doing any coaching. There's too much responsibility and too much of your money at stake, and I don't really want to be responsible for that. I'm not saying you're not going to get results, but what I'm saying is it's a lot of time and dedication and effort on my end that I have to put in to ensure that you get the results that you're looking for, and I don't want to take your money if I can't deliver that. Right. So I have a lot more. I'm not going to do that. But what I will be doing is putting out a product here shortly. It'll be very, 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 very cheap. So you guys can flourish in your real estate endeavors. But yeah, other than that, excuse me. Other than that, if you guys got any questions, drop them below. Let me see what we got here. Somebody just popped up with something over here. Let me see. What my boy Brent says, what numbers do you calculate in your deal? Rehab, GC costs, interest payments, the whole 9 yards. Pretty much, I calculate everything, right? And so the cool thing about it is what I'm learning right now in my development class right now is how to work a pro forma. If you guys don't know what pro formas are, they are basically they're like models, like calculator models, like for developments and deals, right? And they include numbers for pretty much everything, right? And so you input all the information for the house, and then it spits out a rate of return, not a rate of return, or ROI for whether this deal is going to be a great deal or not. Right. And so when I'm running my numbers, you know what? Since I do have the whiteboard here, I'm going to drop some bread on y'all. Right. I'm going to show y'all how I run my numbers really quickly. And this is just this is like a back of the envelope. There's back of the envelope pro formas, and then there's real pro formas. Back of the envelope pro forma is like a very condensed version of a regular pro forma, except it enables you to get some quick, rough numbers on whether a deal is worth your time or not. So I have a calculation that I use just kind of like, just real quick to see like, okay, is this rental going to be good or is this not going to be a good deal? But I got the whiteboard here. I keep forgetting I got the whiteboard. Let me hop on here and show y'all what's really good out here in these streets. But yeah, y'all come here for knowledge, right? Okay, I'm going to show y'all how I run my quick numbers. Herdy says, what are you about the housing market in Lexington? Okay, I'm going to take care of you next, my brother. But can y'all see this? Put a thumbs up if you can see this. What the heck am I doing? Oh, what am I doing? Oh, calculate deal. Can y'all see that? Put a thumbs up if you can see that. Put a thumbs up if you can see that. Can you see that? Does it read right? Put a thumbs up, guys, so I can know. All right. So while I wait for your thumbs up, I'm going to go ahead and put some calculations. So when I look at my deals, especially my rental deals, because I'm all about rentals, what I like to do is I like to run this quick little evaluation, and it'll let me know my ROI. Now, this is not an ROI over 10 years or whatever. This is just a basic ROI in the best case scenario, blanket, if the numbers were to stay the same, right? Now, keep in mind, I always evaluate my deals worst case scenario, right? So if I'm looking at buying a rental, I'm not going to base my rental rates off the high side of the area. I'm going to base my rental rates off the median and worst case scenario. Amendment B would raise property taxes by 50. Yo, first of all, these political text messages I be getting and spam, they need to leave me alone. But anyway, I did vote this weekend back in Florida. Go vote, y'all. It's important. But anyway, when choosing rent rates, I always choose the middle or the below market rent, because I want to evaluate my deal at the worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario, I don't get a tenant for $1,200. I get one in for $1,000. You know what I'm saying? I already spoke about this on my last live session. So if you didn't check that out, make sure you check that out, right? But anyway, so first thing I want to look at when I'm doing this quick little deal evaluation, y'all here for school today, is I need the purchase price. So if the purchase price is $100,000, purchase price. I didn't see no thumbs up to let me know that y'all can see this. Y'all slacking. $100,000. Right? I'm gonna take my $100,000. Let's say the property is $100,000. Right? Where's my thumbs up? I don't know if y'all can see this. Yep, but it's backwards on our end. It is backwards. Dang it. How do people do that? How do they just... Dang. Are y'all serious? Shoot. I don't know how people do that where it reads right on your end and it reads great on my end, but then it reads, How do people do that? If somebody knows, comment it, put it in the comment section, because I don't know how it works. It says yes, it's backwards. Dang. Shoot. All right, anyway. Do your best. I'm going to try to explain it so you can kind of see what's going on. What's going on, Ray Love Jr.? Anyway, all right, so let's say our purchase price is $100,000. Our rent rate in the area. Our rent rate, we're going to do a good scenario, right? Let's say our rent rate in the area is $1,600, right? $1,600. So here's what we're going to do. These are really the only two numbers we really need, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the rent rate in the area. Let's say, medium rent. Actually, let's not do 1,600. I just talked about worst case. So let's say worst case the area. Let's say the worst case, the rent rate is $1,400, right? $1,400 is the worst case scenario for the rent rate. We with you? Okay. All right. So yeah, let's say $1,400 is worst case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to times this by 12, which is 12 for 12 months for a year. What is my gross for a year if my rent rate is $1,400? So I'm going to take this, times that by 12. That's months. 12 months. Right? What's that? Somebody tell me what that is, because my phone has got the live on there. Somebody tell me what that is. 1,400 times 12. Because, let me see. Put my dang. Dang, and my phone is okay. Hold on. Dang it, I have to pause a little bit. All right, hold on real quick. I gotta do these Okay, there it is. My boy Brent got the calculations going on. Thank you for saving me right there, brother. Thank you. All right, so what is that? 1680. All right, stay there because I'm gonna need you again. Right. So that's $16,800. That is what you're supposed to be getting for a year if your rent stayed at $1,400 and you got $1,400 every month. This is gross. This is not including anything else. It's not including your mortgage or anything else. That is if you collect $1,400 for 12 months, right? That is what you're looking at. $1,400. Stop calling me. Sorry. So then what we want to do is now that we got our gross, oh, snap. Dude, the freak. I don't want, okay, there it is. Now that we got our gross, what we want to do is multiply this by what we need to pay for throughout the year, right? So I do a blanket percentage, and I just, worst case, again, I typically multiply this by 60%, right? 60%, and you can go less than that. 60%, that's just me, right? 60% is mortgage, insurance, holding costs, maintenance, repairs, and just saving some of that rental income. So I multiply this by 60%. That 60% for me, is all of my expenses, right? I'm guessing 60% worst case. Most of the time it's not 60%, but I like to evaluate worst case. Remember? So I multiply 1680. Brent, where you at? Times 60%. 60%. Right? I multiply that. This is expenses. Right? You can see that? That is expenses. Right? So this is expenses. You take this gross, you multiply that by 60. What is that, Brent? 1080. All right. That's $10,080 net. This is what your proposed net income is. Right? Net income. So what have I done so far? I've taken my rent rate, I multiplied it by 12, I got my gross, I multiply that by 60% for calculating, worst case for my expenses, and now I just got my net income. Net income, you see how we got that? Y'all following along? Great, perfect, right? Remember, our deal is worth $100,000. So we just got our net income. Now we have to see if this deal worth it. It's the last calculation. Brad, I'm gonna need you for this one. You divide 1080 by 100K, right? Your purchase price. However much you put into the deal, all in is what you divide by your net income. You're looking for your ROI percentage, right? So you're gonna take 100K. And you're going to divide it by this. 100K. All in purchase. All in purchase. I know that's kind of bad handwriting, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? You're going to take your net income and divide it by your all in purchase. That very much well could be, let's say your purchase price is 90 and you plan on putting 10K into it. That means you're still at 100K. Let's say you plan on purchasing it for $50,000 and you plan on putting $50,000 in repairs into it. Your all in is still 100K, right? It's just as if your purchase price was 50K and you want to put 20K into it, your all in is 70K. So whatever it is not just the purchase price, it's also the repairs you plan on putting into it. So your all-in cost should be what you divide your net income by. And what do we have? I already know the answer. 10%. Percent. ROI. Does that make sense? Does that look good to y'all? That is the number you're looking for. That is why this is a quick evaluation on whether a deal is going to be worth your time or not. And a lot of times it depends on two of these numbers. And those two numbers, the most important ones, are what? Your purchase price and your rent rate, right? If you do enough of these evaluations, it'll be very easy. It'll be easy for you to start seeing a trend, right? I know that if I've been doing this a while, right? So I know that if my purchase price is $100,000 and the average rent rates in the area are $800, I know damn well that's not going to be a good deal for me, right? Even at $1,400 a month, and I'm all in at $100K, I'm only bringing in 10%, right? I'm only bringing in 10%. Rule of thumb, you try to shoot for ROI. Your ROI percentage is 10%. That's your rule of thumb. I mean, not 10%. I'm sorry. I take that back. Not 10%. 12%, right? This is your ROI. This is what you're trying to get right here. This is important. This is what's important to you. So, again, I'll explain it all over again so you guys can understand, right? When you're out there looking at deals, when you're looking at rentals, this is good for rentals. What you're going to look at is your purchase price. How much is the house worth? Then you're going to go to rentometer.com. Check it. What did I say? Rentometer.com. Or your local, wherever you find your information for your local rent rates. Wherever that may be, I don't care, right? I use Rentometer just to get a quick idea. Remember, this is quick. This is to evaluate whether a deal is worth your time or not, right? I'm going to go look at the purchase price. The house is worth $100,000. Then I'm going to go to Rentometer. And I'm saying, oh, okay, this house looks good. Let me see what the rent rates in the area are. The average, not the best case, the average, if not the worst case. And I'm probably going to run it twice. I'm going to run it twice with the first with the average rent rate and then the worst case rent rate. Right now, we're just going to choose $1,400. These are the only two numbers you need. You take that rent rate and you multiply that by 12. You get your gross. Your gross income, $16,800. Then you're going to multiply this by your expected expenses. You expect to expend at least 60%. That could be a high number for you. It could be a low number for you. You have to figure that out, right? Remember, our expenses include mortgage, insurance, holding costs, maintenance, reserves, repairs, whatever, right? That is what this is. And if you were to add all that up, is it going to be at least 60% of this? Probably so. Maybe worst case, but that's how we want to evaluate the deal, right? So you got your 60% and you multiply that by your gross, and now you get your net income. This is your net income. It's got 60% already allocated out of it. $10,000, 1080 is 60% of 16,800. You take this, your net income, and you divide it. Divide. That is my phone paused. I know it's a lot of pausing on this show. But you divide that by your overall purchase price, which is $100,000. And then it's going to spit out a percentage for you. Whatever your threshold is, 10%, 12%, some people don't go below 15%. This is going to tell you whether it's going to be worth it or not. This is how they evaluate very, very quickly. This is not something that's brand new. I didn't make up this equation myself. I tweaked a little bit of it, but I learned this online, right? A lot of this information you can learn online. and so far it's been pretty good, right? When I run these same numbers and then I actually go down and do pen and paper and do some real numbers, it's kind of the same. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the same right here. This is just a quick evaluation, like right now, right? This does not project 10 years down the road, because you're not including rises in rent and, your expenses either decreasing, increasing, changes in rent rates. It doesn't include any of that stuff. This is just a blanket. What are you going to be getting for your ROI if you got this is your rent rate and this is your purchase price, right? This lets me know right here. I do this really quickly on my calculator, and I can tell whether a deal is worth me going to see or not. Is it worth me spending time on or not? Right? And 9 times out of 10, I'm running the same equation and I'm looking for my ROI percentage. Now, y'all want some gems? Okay. This, remember I said something about 12%? Don't go, well, up to you. I don't usually go below 12. If you want to go below 12 and you want to go to, I do a deal at 10%. I have done a deal at 10%. I have one right now at 10%. Where I'm getting 10%. I'm okay with this number being 10% if I'm in an area that's highly appreciating. So if I'm in an area where, there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of solds, a lot of rehabs going on, you can tell development's being built, I'm okay with taking less every month because I know that the appreciation on the house is going way up because of what's going on around the house. So now I have, if I wanted to sell my house, I'm probably going to make some bread, right? And I'm okay with that, knowing that if I'm getting 10%, what's going on around the house and how it's appreciating, how the neighborhood is appreciating, is really going to compensate for me missing out on that other 2%. I'm okay with that. Where I won't go below 12%, is if I'm in an area that's going to require a lot more supervision for that rental. Again, you are in this game to make money. You can also be in this game to change lives and all that kind of stuff. But your time and all that stuff, you got to be paid for it, right? And so if I have to put a lot more oversight into a rental that's in this place versus this other one, I'm probably not going to go below 12 because for the oversight, I need my money to compensate for my time and my efforts. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm going to be spending, every waking moment, in this particular area, doing XYZ, trying to collect rent and deal with XYZ, blah, 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 I want 12%. I'm not going at 10%. If I'm in an area where, it's kind of like a set forget type deal and I got a tenant that's in there, set forget, I'm okay with 10%. But you got to know this stuff before you buy the deal, right? A lot of people will buy bad deals and they think that, because this duplex is $200,000 and it's collecting, $1,800 a month in rent. Oh, that's a good deal. I don't even have to do the numbers to know that that's probably not the greatest deal. Right, I'm gonna give you some words of advice, guys. Are you guys okay with Are you guys okay with that? Put a thumbs up if you're okay with the calculations that I just dropped on the board. Put a thumbs up. If you want me to do it again in a smaller video, 2-minute video or 3-minute video, put a thumbs up too if you want me to do that, because I can do that as well, so you guys can reference that and all that kind of stuff. Right, but this is how I run my deals. Right there, right? SS Bands, what's cracking? Young Sweet Life, how you doing? Brent, hey, shout out to Brent for with the calculator. Appreciate that. But yeah, what was I gonna say? What was I saying? I was about to say something. That's what happens when you talk a lot. Dang, I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway, this is how I run my deals. I use this calculation right here. It's fairly simple. It's something you can literally do on your calculator in like 10 seconds. You can do that running around for deals and all that kind of stuff. Now, keep in mind, This is like a back of the envelope type formula. Obviously, before you buy a house, you'd want to do like the real, put real pen and paper or Excel sheet and try to do a real calculation. Make sure that, your numbers are adding up. But this is something that I use to just figure out, is it worth my time or not, right, on the front end. And a lot of times, I know what I was going to say. A lot of times, deals are not worth my time. And it's not just my time, they're just not worth it because of the price point. And a lot of times, I'll tell you what jacks deals up as far as whether they're worth it or not. That purchase price. And so I might find a deal that doesn't work at $100,000 and it spits out like 8 or 5 or whatever. And I said, well, what number is going to work? Very easy. Then you start playing with this number, your purchase price. You take your purchase price, right? Take that purchase price and you start lowering it and running the deal at, instead of 100, you run it at 90. And then if it doesn't work at 90, let's say let's say you don't get your 12% at 90, drop it down to 80 and run the numbers at 80. You drop it down till you get to the number you want, right? And so if the number that's going to make the deal work is 12%, and let's say the number is $80,000 going to make the deal work at 12%. That's what you should probably be offering, or that's the area in which you should probably be looking. The area in which you should be looking at putting in an offer, or that's the number that's going to make the deal work for you, right? Just because this purchase price is $100,000 does not mean you have to purchase it at $100,000, right? You could have it at $100,000 and run the numbers, and this be 15%. That means you can offer a little bit more if you're in a multiple offer situation and you're bidding against other people that are around the same price point as you. If your bottom line is 12% and you ran the numbers at $100,000 and your percentages and your ROI percentage is 15%, maybe you go up some more, right? Maybe you go up on the offer. You got some leeway room. You just ran your numbers. You got a little extra percentage in there. Instead of being cheap and not winning the deal, go after the deal and get it and put a little bit more money in your offer. Wise words. The best deal you can do is the deal you never did. Put that on a shirt. The best deal you can do is the deal you never did. I'll say it one more time. The best deal you can do is the deal that you never did. Don't get into bad deals, guys. There's no excuses. Here's a prelim of what you can do to put roadblocks in place to prevent yourself from, 1, buying emotionally, and 2, just buying a bad deal, right? If your bottom line and you say my bottom line is 12% and I ain't going below that, well, stick to 12%. If it's, if your bottom line is, big dog status Faith, she might be like, my bottom line is 20%. Guess what? Faith ain't gonna go below that 20%. And there's rules and exceptions, yes, but you have to know the market in order to put those rules and exceptions into place, right? The only way I went down below that 12% and went to 10% is because I knew the market, I knew that area, and I knew what was going on, right? If your number is 12% and you see a deal at 8% and you run the numbers and it's 8% and you're sitting there just in love with the deal just because of whatever, that'll get you fucked up out here. And y'all don't curse out. I don't curse on here. I try not to, but I'm being serious with you guys when it comes to buying bad deals. There's people buy bad deals every day. I should put that on a shirt. Faye, we should put that on a shirt. People buy bad deals every day. They sit there and look at that ROI and be like, oh yeah, I'm finna be getting another $200-$300 a month. And then you look at the real numbers and you see, okay, well, yeah, you spent like $150,000 on it and you're only collecting $200 a month. Does that sound worth it to you guys? Not to me, right? But that happens every single day. Don't be that person. And if you are that person and that's your criteria and that works for you, so be it, right? So be it. But live with your decisions. You live and die by your own numbers, not anybody else's. I just gave y'all a way to evaluate deals on your own, preliminary wise, to where you can run your own numbers, where you don't have to rely on the wholesaler or rely on the guy who's down the street just wants to sell you a deal, right? There should be no excuses, right? I give y'all a lot of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So this is an equation that y'all can use to evaluate your rental deals or rental prospective deals to ensure and make sure that it's worth your time to even entertain or not. And if it's not worth your time and you're still interested in the deal, then you start fluctuating that purchase price to a point where it does work for you. And there it is. That's going to tell you what you should be offering. I just gave y'all some real deal Holyfield stuff. Hey, my battery's about to die, right? But real gems were dropped today. Listen, screenshot this, share the show, post it on your story, let folks know what we're doing. You guys already know what it is. Real estate Q&A sessions every Thursday, 12 o'clock. Make sure you show up with your questions. We will be back next week. Next week starts a new month. Please flourish. Be great, guys. Obviously, I had to cut. I'm gonna be cutting this thing off here real shortly. But remember this. Remember that I know it's backwards, and I got to work on that and how people do the whole show thing and write on the board where it doesn't read backwards. But this is the equation. There's a bunch of different equations. Guys, go to YouTube, right? But this is a quick equation for free that you just got without having to go search on how to run deals preliminary wise without wasting your time. Take a picture, screenshot it right now before my phone dies. Actually, my phone, why don't I just get a charger? Why don't you just get a charger, Rashaad? Yeah. That sounds reasonable. Yeah, I'll just go get a charger. But anyway, yes. That's how y'all run deals. That's how I run my deals. Now, what I usually do is I'll do that. If it's worth my time, then I'll keep evaluating further and running my numbers and making sure that everything works out perfect, right? But if it doesn't work, I just keep moving. Never force a deal to work, right? Never buy emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Never force a deal to work. Never buy emotionally, and you'll be okay in this game. Doesn't matter how you start. Matters about how you finish, right? You don't have to buy every single deal. I know a couple cats that do, and they're starting to learn that that's not how you should do business, right? Every deal is not your best deal. Remember what I told y'all? I know the show's about to end. Remember what I told y'all. The best deal you do is the deal that you never did. So, if you guys got any questions, any more further questions, holler at me in my inbox. I will be accepting questions via my inbox, and what I will be doing is posting them on next week's show. I had a couple cats that did the same thing this week, posted in my inbox, and I answered them, on the whiteboard here today. So, if you guys have not been able to check, if you tuned in late and you want to catch today's gems, which is a real gems on this one, tune into my story, not my story, but on my feed. I do post all these on my my Instagram page, so check the feed out. Remember, screenshot, share the show, let everybody know what we're doing. This is Real Estate Q&A sessions every Thursday, 12 o'clock. Dropping gems for everybody. This is love, free love. I don't know where you're going to go and get this information from without paying for it or scavenging through YouTube for hours on end. So, again, you want to see it, Devin? There it is. Maybe it reads right now. This is how you calculate deals. Hold on, let me scoot back a little bit. Screenshot it right now, guys. Screenshot it. Screenshot it. Screenshot it. That is the goods. That's the goods for today. Screenshot it. All right. Damn, showing up backwards again. I don't know why it does that. But screenshot it is basically, let me see. Yeah, it shows up backwards right here. But right here it doesn't. Looks good to me. So purchase price up at the top and your rent rate. You got 12 months multiplied by 60% for your expenses. And then you divide your net income by your all-in purchase price, which is up there. And then you and then you divide that. Yeah, and then you get your your ROI. Right now, remember, guys, this number right here can fluctuate. I do 60% as a worst case scenario. That can fluctuate depending on what your expenses are. I don't know what your mortgage is. I don't know how much you're paying for insurance. I don't know what you want to put aside for, savings costs, and vacancy is sometimes 5%, 5 to 10%. I do worst case. I do 60%, right? Just worst case, what also can change is this, your purchase price, right? Your purchase price could be anything between, 100K and, not 100K, but whatever your purchase price is, your all in price, right? That's what you want to figure out. Your all in price, your rent rates. Make sure that this is not the best rent rate in the area. You are fooling yourself if you think that you're going to get the top rent every single time that you rent out to tenants. You're fooling yourself, right? Do not run your numbers with the best rent rate. You run it with the average rent rate and the worst case rent rate, right? And if you just want to be really conservative, then just do worst case. If the worst case is 1,200, run this numbers at 1,200. Guarantee you that's going to be like 8. You know what I'm saying? This does not change. 12 months does not change. Actually, you know what you could do? I've never done this. Faith, you know what? Let me know how you feel, because Faith is a G, yo. Faith, you think I could just change the 12 months and if I want to evaluate it over 5 years, just change the months? I could do that. You know what? I just thought about that. I've been doing this same calculation for 3 years now, and not 3 years, 2 years, but I could change that 12 months to 48 months, or let's say if I plan on being in a deal for 5 years, what am I going to get over a 5-year period? What's 5 times 12? I don't know, 60, I think. I don't know, 65 or something. I don't know. Anyway, I told you I'm horrible at math. So, so you multiply by the months. Let's say if you want to do a 5-year term, 10-year term, or maybe even a 30-year term over maybe a conventional loan product. I mean, you can kind of do this and see real quick. Remember, this is quick. This is quick stuff to figure out what you want to do, whether the deal is worth it or not. It's not anything exciting, but it is a quick tool to evaluate whether a deal is worth looking at or not. You know what I'm saying? A lot of deals are bad, right? A lot of deals are very, 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 very bad. Do not get stuck in a bad deal. Just because there is a multi-unit in your area and it's for sale for $250,000. Let's say it's a duplex for $250,000 and it's only collecting $1,800 in rent. Just because it's a multi-unit does not mean you should buy it. I gotta say that again for the people in the back. Just because it's a multi-unit does not mean you should buy the deal, right? Multi-units can suck too, because if you're in an area with low rents, underperforming rents, or if you're just in an area with great rent, but the prices just jack the heck up, which most multi-units are, then they can be bad deals too. Doesn't mean just because you're getting multiple sources of income out of 3-4 unit units does not mean that it's going to justify you paying the purchase price that you're about to pay. Right? I can tell you off rip, if a duplex is $250,000 and you're only collecting $1,800, that ain't the best deal. Let y'all know that right now, right? It's not the best deal. So I hope you guys have screenshotted. This. Again, I don't do anything under the sun. I just do some research. A lot of this stuff you can figure out and find online. I'm just doing my part in spreading the wealth and what I do. Sometimes what I do is not the greatest thing ever, greatest stuff ever, but I've been somewhat successful thus far. I have purchased bad deals before. Shit happens, right? I wouldn't trade it for the world, right? That's how you get experience. But that lets you know that when you do find yourself in those scenarios and you look back, did I purchase this deal emotionally? Did I try to make the numbers work so I could buy it? Trust the numbers the first time you run it. And if it doesn't work the first time you run it, then it's probably a deal you don't need to do. right? You should be saying no to more deals than yes. More deals are not going to work more often than deals actually working. And if you really like the deal, then find the number where you buying it. Find the purchase price that is going to work for you, and then you make that offer. You know what I'm saying? Not to be greedy, right? I'm not saying be greedy, but find a purchase price that's going to work for you to where, you can offer, if it takes 10 to 20K less than what the purchase price is to buy it and makes sense for you, then put that offer out. I'm just giving y'all a quick, easy way to evaluate the deals. You can do what you want with it, right? There's super calculators out there. There's rental assistance calculators and what you should be offering and all this kind of stuff. But how are you going to be, why I can't give you the keys to the Ferrari if you don't know how to drive. You know what I'm saying? You can have them fancy calculators online and all that stuff and what to evaluate and what to all that kind of stuff. But if you don't know you're only as good as the data that you input in there, right? And if you fabricate or stretch the numbers to make it work, well, guess what you're going to get back? You're going to get back bullshit, right? It's either going to come in the form of the deal being bad or the number being bad when you evaluate it. And I'd rather the number be bad when I evaluate it than finding out later after I bought a deal that it's a bad deal. So, anyway, I'm going to conclude this session. I don't see any more questions, but I think this was a very informative live session, and I'm actually trying to figure out what's going on with Instagram because they acting real grand today, letting me be on here for over an hour. If y'all come to my live sessions, this is week 26. Y'all already know at that hour mark, they kicked me off, and I am not able to save anything that was presented. So I don't know if Instagram's tripping right now. It might be because I have gone over an hour and I haven't gotten the notification yet. Might be a new feature where they're just letting us rock out. Cool, right? That means longer sessions if need be. But what I would do if I was you guys is I'm going to show this thing one more time because in the event that I close this out and try to post this on my story feed and it doesn't let me, this story's gone and then the equation's gone. So I give you one more time to screenshot this. This is in the event that I cannot get this session to post on my feed. Screenshot it. There it is. All right. Guys should know how to screenshot by now. All right, guys. I got work to do. As you guys know, I started a contracting company, so I got guys I got to check up on. I got new projects coming on. I got a house I'm rehabbing. Actually, I got 3 houses I'm rehabbing right now. I got a lot of work that I'm doing. And I'm also closing on another house tomorrow as representing a seller. So I'm doing my agent thing. I got this contracting business going up. I got my own investment properties. I'm renovating and working and doing some property management. I'm all in real estate. It's not even a freaking joke at this point. So respect the hustle. If you guys post this, screenshot it, post it to your story, let everybody know we're doing every Thursday. Week 26, moving to week 27 next week. Shout out to everybody. RIP Martez hurt. And then go vote. Go vote, go vote, go vote, because your life depends on it. Go vote. Peace, guys. See y'all next week.